Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome, everyone. I'm Chatty, welcome to my channel, Chatty My Chatter, where I'm going to be chatting away madly about my October and November TBR. I'm mashing them together because I just feel, I don't know if I can do this on like a monthly thing. I'm doing it on a 2-monthly thing because I've just got so much that I kind of feel like reading around the same sort of theme. So I have already released a video about all the readathons that I'm doing in October, which I will link here. So there's quite a lot of books that I'm kind of wanting to get in there, but I'm basically just going to be kind of doing it instead of over 1 month. I'm just kind of be doing it over 2 because it just feels like a lot. I'm not going to read everything, but I just want to give myself the opportunity to not like feel I've got to cram it all in and sort of read quickly. I'm just going to do it more chilled out. So that's why it's going to be 2 months worth. I'm going to do 8 prompts, so it's going to be 8 rolls today, and at the end of it I'm going to talk about Gothtober because my Readathon video basically shut off before I'd finished talking about Gothtober, and I did another little like video afterwards, but it was like 2 minutes, and then that one shut off as well because I'd run out of memory, and I was like, I didn't actually say anything worthwhile because I was still trying to make out what the prompts were and work out what I was going to do. So I'm going to go through my Gothtober kind of pile of possibilities prompts list at the end of this as well. If you are new to my videos and have not seen any of the book games I do, Bookladders and Bookworms is a game that I play to work up my TBR because there's so much choice. I need help to kind of focus me in. If you have not been here before and don't know how to play, I will link the last video I have done here where it has explaining the rules because I've only got 50 minutes left of footage on my camera. I can't delete anything at the moment. I've got like a stack of videos kind of up. So I'm short on time. So please go there to learn the rules, and I'm just going to go into it. So the 4 different colours that I have in my game, the prompts are as follows. Especially for Talia, because I know she loves this one. If I land on a blue, we have the 30-second prompt. So I have, courtesy of Natta, a lovely timer. Look at this. So I will be able to do 30 seconds a lot better because she's been frustrated every time. She's like, just get a timer, just get a timer. So she bought me a timer. I probably should use that and feature in videos. Look at my poor bathroom that's all, you know, not as nice as it could be. Anyway. The next prompt is green and this was suggested by Masha, and she wanted something where I focused on my series, which I really appreciate because I really want to get some series finished off. I've got a load of new series I want to start reading, but I just feel like I can't dive in until I have read a few more. So I'm going to do a series dice spin. I have got an 8-sided dice here. I can't even hold it there. But an 8-sided dice here, and I've got a list of 8 series I can continue reading. So that's going to be green. Yellow is a genre card. I've not done genre for a while, but I feel in a kind of a mixture of genres here. So I have cards here with different genres and age ranges on them to help me choose. And then pink is a theme card. Again, not used that one for a while. So here are my theme cards, and I will pick a book out and it will have something like maybe like outside or city. So I'd have to choose a book that gave me outside feels from the cover and from the synopsis, or city, depending which one I got. And again, I've done little boxes. So if I roll a colour a 3rd time, then we're going to go and look inside this TBR fail tin. So the TBR fail tin is has got a list, has got little thingies, little bits of paper in here of all the books where I didn't end up, put that book on my TBR but didn't read it. So I have them all here. So from January, we have The History of England by Jane Austen. From February, I have Riot Baby by Tonya Ojibuchi. March, I have Elle McNichol's A Kind of Spark. April, I have Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. May, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. June, Under Rose-Tainted Skies by Louise Gornell. July, Jamie by L.D. Lipinski. August, what comes after July? The Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabbatahir. and September Queenie by Candice Carty Williams. All books I would like to read at some point, so let's see if they come up. And always I will be doing my Lucky Ladder card and my Worrying Worms card. I have one ring here. I'm now just going to pick out 2 random other prompts. 1, 2, so I'm even closing my eyes. There we go. So that is the 3 Worrying Worm cards set up. Let's get rid of those ones. And the same with Lucky Ladders, I have my Feagle card. And then let's see what other Lucky Ladder prompt I get. And it is going to be 1, 2. So whatever they are going in here with my Lucky Ladder cards. Okay, we're ready to do the first roll. So let's go and do that. Here is the board. I have done no work on it. It has been, bless it, ignored for Journey-a-thon and other such doodly doodles. So still need to finish making it. But hey, it will serve its purpose. We have the 1 dice, it's going in the pot. First roll is a 3. So let's get my little Mad Chatter teacup counter. Start in the middle, and I could do 1, 2, 3. It's a blue. 1, 2, 3. It's a green, or a yellow, or another green. So I've got yellow, green, blue, or green. Or the other way around, I could do a Lucky Ladder, I could do a blue, another Lucky Ladder, or a worm, which we won't be doing a worm. As greens come up twice, we're going to go for green, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So I'm going clockwise because it works better in my brain. And I believe green was Mash's series 1. So let's go see. So yes, it was a series dice spin. So I have the dice here. Can I roll it on here? Will you see it if I do? No, you won't. What about here? You might do if I move these out of the way. So it's the one that would be most, well, we'll work it out. One facing up. That's how we do it. It'd be the one facing up. So I'll do that. Okay, got it. Good, good. I'm glad I know what I'm doing. So let me tell you what series are on my little scrappy bit of paper list. I have number 1, the Locked Tomb series. The next book I need to read is Harrow the Ninth, which I have requested from the library. Series number 2 is Thunderhead, the next book in the Arc of the Scythe series that I've been trying to read and failing. Number 3 is the next book in A Pinch of Magic with the Witcham sisters. So that is A Tangle of Spells by Michelle Harrison. And that I need to earn because it's under my bed. So I just need to be really healthy to get hold of that book. Number 4 is Dark Shade of Magic because I didn't manage to read it in September. And that's the final book. No, it's called A Conjuring of Light, the series of The Darker Shade of Magic. Okay. Number 5 is the Adventures on Train series by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. So the next one I need to read is Dead Man's Past, which is a bit more wintry, which is fun. Number 6 is the Monster series by Vanessa Lynn. And that is, I've read Only a Monster, and the next one I need to read is Never a Hero. And I'm kind of really enjoying the YA fantasy at the moment, so I'm quite keen to kind of pick that one up. Number 7, I feel enough time has passed since my Sarah J. Maas rant, so I feel ready to carry on with my Chatties challenge and read A Court of Wings and Ruin, which I feel is going to be a rant read, but it's fine. And number 8 is the duology by Angie Thomas, the first book being The Hate You Give, second book being Concrete Rose. I need to read A Concrete Rose. So let's roll. And it is 2. Number 2 is Thunderhead. So there we go. First book on my TBR is Thunderhead. So I have managed to knock off some of my oldest series that I've been reading. And this is kind of like the next one that I was wanting to tackle and finish off. Thunderhead is the second book in the Arc of the Scythe series by Neil Schusterman. And it's also one of the books I have for one of my magical readathon prompts. I'm still going, even though it finished in August. I just continue with it because it's fun. Piolas needs to finish those classes. So I'm very keen to have this one on my TBR, and I feel up for a bit of dystopia. So, exciting times. On to roll number 2. Noisy. Roll number 2 is, can't see it, I still can't see it, 6. 6. So we're going clockwise and it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Green again. Well, at least I know what I'm doing this time, she says, having screwed up the camera thing so you couldn't see this. Okay, rolling. We have a 3, which is the Winston sisters. So I need to do some earning, don't I? So that will make me back up my being healthy. Yeah, I have to make sure I don't just start scoffing a load of chocolate. Roll number 3. Not roll 3 yet. I need to talk about the book. So this is the first book in the Pinch of Magic series called A Pinch of Magic, which is about 3 sisters, the Readathon sisters, and there are magical items. There is, in the first book and the second book, there has been like a folklore-y tale to the story that has linked in with what they are doing. And it's middle grade fantasy, so much fun, really loving this series. And Tangle of Spells has a bit more of a spooky feel, says Vadania Silverscribe, who adores that series. Also hear really, really good things about this series from Jack from Spread Book Joy. So I am really chuffed to be prioritising this series. I just need to make sure I earn that book. So there we go. Now roll number 3. If I get another green, then it is going to be TBR fail jar time. I have a 3. Oh, it was a 3. It was a 3, okay? You don't need to see it. So, 1, 2, 3. We are on yellow. So yellow is the genre and age group card. So let's see what I get. And if it's an age group and I still can't decide, then I'll just pick a genre card, another one, and see if that works. Okay, this is first one, and middle grade, which works perfectly because I have a lot of middle grade I want to read, but it doesn't narrow my options down because there's a huge amount of them. So I'm going to pick another one and see if it hopefully has a theme on it rather than it. Let me just take out the age ranges. Okay, clearly shouldn't have put them in, but it's going to be a middle grade, and we're going to pick a, this one is contemporary. Contemporary. I'll have a look and see. This could be challenging, actually, because many what I want to read are historical fiction, some mysteries, some thrillers. Let me have a little explore. Okay, it's not a strict contemporary, but the whole point of me doing this game is to help me narrow down my big choices. So this is going to work for me. There is no TBR game police coming and telling me that I'm incorrect. It's completely fine. So I've looked through all my books, and there was a lot of them that have like fantasy settings, sort of like more spooky and things. But this one that I'm going to go for, The Haunting of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks, is a modern day setting, but with sort of like a spooky fantasy feel to it. But it's set in our world. So I feel that's enough contemporary to fit the prompt. And it is one that I'm really keen to read, especially around this time of year. So I'm very happy with this. This has been one that I have had under my bed for a while. I found it in the charity shop, and I've been kind of wanting it for this type of season, and I've been telling people about it because I hear amazing things, but I have yet to read it myself. So I'm looking forward to actually doing that. Let's do roll 4. So we are still on just this one dice, going round the first square. It is a 6. Clearly I can only roll 3s and 6s today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was close. 6 is blue. I think this is 30-second prompt, so I get to use a new timer, and Talia is going to be very happy. Okay, I have my timer here so we can all see the time together. I have got a pile of books right next to me so I can find possibly ones that will work, but I may also have to just completely rush off if that's not working. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I have no idea. I'm a bit scared. Okay. Shuffling the cards. Which one is it going to be? I'm just going to pick this one. I'm going to get ready to start. I can't see it yet. Can't see it. An epic book. Okay, what's epic? Many things are epic. Is Conductor's epic? It feels like it could be epic, but is it more of a mystery? What do I mean by epic when I wrote this? That's a thriller. That's the Lighthouse Whatsits. It's in a big pile and it's stuck to the Lamplighters, not the Lighthouse Whatsits. So that's not epic. YA, are these epic YA? One Dark Wind. I paused the wrong thing. I wasn't even looking at the timer. So I failed. That means I've got to do it again and pick another one. Okay, let's deal with epic first. I don't know why it's such a thing, because I'm not doing a reward and punishment anymore at the moment. So nobody cares if I read these books or not, but never mind. I think because in my head, epic is like epic fantasy or like big chunky historical. That's epic. So I think I was trying to work out, I really have a lot of epic books that I'm kind of like up for reading. I mean, I could have gone for Hunger of the Gods. That's epic. Yeah. Anyway, the two I was looking at, they're not, right, okay. Belladonna, not really epic. Not really epic. One Dark Window. Could it be epic, or is this just more like fairy tale-esque? I've changed the cover around so I can't see what it says. It could be. There's a dangerous quest. There's stakes are heightened. There's a nightmare. I'm gonna count this one for epic, and then I'll let you know when I read it whether or not it is epic. Okay, so my fail is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This is one of the Fairy Loot books that I got in the subscription. I think it was October last year. I have heard what's the name of your channel? Me, Myself and I. And I've totally, I'm blanking on your name. I'm so sorry, I know your name. Anyway, from the channel Me, Myself and I, she really loved this, said it was great. I'm going to be buddy reading this with Vadania Silverscribe and Cloe from Phantom of the Pages. It's going so well. This is our buddy read pick for Fairy Loot. We kind of all get the boxes and we all try and read them together, so it's lots of fun. So this is the one we've decided to go for October, so that's going to be exciting. So I wanted to get it on my TBR anyway, and I will let you know if it feels like it fits epic or not. Otherwise, epic, I've got Sky Beyond the Storm. I've already said about Hunger of the Gods. I've got my final hob. Which is definitely epic. But that's just going to go on. I'm just going to read that anyway. It doesn't really need to be kind of like filled into a TBR. So yeah. Anyway, right. So we're now going to try the prompt again. Let me just get back into that mindset. Okay, prompts have been reshuffled. I need to pick one and not look at it and then press it. So I'm just grabbing this one. I have no idea what it is. Go. An elephant book, 500 pages. Shit. No. I know it's from the TBR fail jar, but it's just going to have to. It's over 500 pages, this one. Sky Beyond the Storm. Panic set in. I wasn't going to choose any of these because of my TBR fail jar thing. But you know what? If I pull this out, I'm just going to ignore it. This is going on the list. The full-on panic. Okay, cool. Great. A Sky Beyond the Storm is by Saboteur. It is the fourth and final book in the Ember and the Ashes quartet. I have been rereading. I have been reading this for quite a long time. Can't even remember when I started. It's YA, so it has got a fast pace, but it is a very kind of dark and grim world. The third book was definitely like the darkest of it. We're following these characters that are very high stakes, so it's very epic. It's very epic. So I'm very keen to kind of read it and finish it out. I've been wanting to do this. This has been kind of like on my TBR for like the last few months, pretty much since I finished Rebirth of Gate in May, and it just hasn't happened. So I'm ready to finish this series. Cool. Right. I managed to do the 30-second prompt. Right. So it's 5 books now, and then we're on roll 5. So we can do the 5th roll. Okay, we are halfway through. Rolling the dice. It's a 3, because I can only roll 2 numbers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's green. That means 3 greens. So we're on a TBR fail. But I'm going to pull out Saboteur here. I realised I hadn't actually done my one-shot no editing. I can't edit. The camera just rolls. I use pause. So cheers, everyone. Clink, 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 clink. You've probably got that if you've not been here before, because I've directed you to my other videos because I didn't want to explain the rules. Anyway, I was highlighting these 2 because I keep them in here. So I have, let me just not fail. I have like a little like squashy sock at the bottom to kind of protect them. That's where I keep all of them. I carried a big pile of books downstairs to do this video, and the jar was balanced on the top and it fell off and rolled all the way down the stairs. And I was terrified just watching it with these books going, ah! And it stopped right on the last step. I was like, oh, maybe it'll be okay. It wasn't okay. I have broken saucers now. Look. But luckily, I have no nails, super glue, so hopefully I can just fix them and it'll be fine. But anyway, my poor little teacups survived the traumatic journey, so well done, little tiny teacups. And yeah, needed more than a sock to protect them, clearly. Right, all of you are going in here. Ah, don't do that. Right. Shake TBR tin. And it is going to be this one here. What have I got? I have got A Kind of Spark, which was the book that should have read in March for middle grade March, and then I also should have read it in July as well for July. It was on my August. It was on my August, not July. Should have been in my August thingamajig. So yes, here we go. Right, I can't not read it on another TBR. This is the time to shine. Also, A Kind of Spark by Elle McNichol is about a girl who's really interested in the witch trials, and I feel very much in the mood for witch trials and exploring all of that. This also has fantastic neurodivergent rep. It is Own Voices. Elle McNichol is neurodivergent, so I am very excited to read this and also just admire the cover. This is the US cover, not the UK cover. I love this cover. I saw someone with this cover, and hearing people talk about this book and how incredible it is, I was like, really want this book, but I want it in that cover. So very excited to actually read this. Finally. And we've just got this very nice purple under the dust jacket there. And on the back it says, all I can think about are the witches. This is perfect. Thank you, TBR jar. This is perfect. Okay, let's do roll number 6. I think it's 6. Okay, roll number 6 is a 5. We have a different number. How exciting. Where will that take us? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a lucky ladder. We are getting off this square. 5. Okay, here we go. Got a lucky ladder. Let's see. what we get. It is, what is your most anticipated book? I do know, actually, from all me saying about this, my most anticipated book is one I have pegged in for Gothtober, and that is Blackwater Sister by Zencho. So excited for this book. This book is, I love Zencho. I've loved her for a very long time. I loved her Sorcerer Royale duology. She was amazing. I read this year The Order of the Pure Moon Reflected in Water, which was incredible. It's my last book I have to read by her. And I hear Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe talking about how fantastic this book is. And there's part of me that's so excited, but also sad, because once I've read this, I have nothing else to read by Zencho. So the anticipation will be gone. But very excited. I also really love this cover as well. It's so bright and vibrant, and it's making me really happy. I think we've got lime pages. Yes, we have these amazing lime end pages as well. Okay, cool. Roll 7. Now we are on the second square. I get to add in an extra dice, so we're rolling 2. And we have a 5 and a 1, so that's a 6. So still going clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's another lucky ladder. How exciting. Whoop. And we're on the outer square. Okay, I've just added another card in. I can't remember if that's what I usually do or not, but that's what I'm doing today. So my next lucky ladder card is there a recently acquired book that has come into your house you want to read? Probably. Probably. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going through my big pile of books here. Actually, no, let me get some books to talk to you about, otherwise this is going to take forever. So quite a lot of my recently acquired books are, well, no, quite a lot of my pile of possibilities there are ones I've had for a long time that I've been wanting to read for ages. So they're only kind of like recently acquired books, because Evelyn Jones would have worked for that because I've recently earned that one, are ones I've got at the library recently. So that is Fable House by E.L. Norrie, which has kind of got a spooky kind of vibe. It's set, I think, in the 1950s or 60s. It's set in a children's home featuring a girl who is put in a home because she is black and her mum is white, and so it was this home for brown babies. And its own voices, the author experienced that similar childhood growing up. But there seems to be kind of a really nice kind of found family in here of all these girls. There's a mystery with a Knight of Arthur, and they need to kind of like save their house. But it also has like very kind of like spooky kind of sinister suspensey vibes as well, which is why I'm kind of really feeling for this kind of season. Got some lovely autumn leaves kind of across the top as well. So excited for this one. I also have The Secret of Haven Point by Lisette Alton. Really excited for this one too. I've been seeing it around in bookshops and I'm like, oh, that looks good. There's some lovely disabled representation in here as well. It is about a group of children that are they kind of come to the lighthouse and become this kind of like wreckers community with mermaids, and it's like all children that have kind of that their families kind of didn't want, are kind of like just left there. And they survive by wrecking ships and pillaging the loot. So intrigued by this one. And Jack from Spread Bookjoy has recently done a review of that book, so I'm very keen to look at that once I've read it. And finally, I have the Skull upside down. I have The Skull by John Klassen. I love John Klassen's picture books. This is kind of more of a sort of 5 to 8 sort of more larger story from him, which I've not come across before, and is also giving me those kind of spooky vibes as well, because it's called The Skull. So any one of these 3 could work for me, and I'm not sure what to put on there. So I'll have a little think as to which one I'm going to go for. Yeah, I want to read all of them, so I'm rolling a dice. So 1 and 2 is The Secret of Haven Point. 3 and 4, because I can't count, is Fable House, and 5 and 6 is The Skull. Roll the dice, and we have a 4, which is Fable House. So there we go. Fable House by E.L. It's final roll time. So the final roll is a 3 and a 1. So 4. We are here. 1, because we're going clockwise. 2, 3, 4. It's a worrying worm that we're ending on. Whoop, blip. Okay, let's see what it's got. Now again, there's no TBR, please. I am not accountable for anything. This is just for me. But genuinely, with the worrying worms, I do prioritize reading them, because like that's the challenge of my game. And there's been some cases where I've challenged myself and it's come through, and other cases where it's been a bit awkward, but I felt an achievement after it, and other ones where I thought I really just wasn't up for this, but actually I had a great time reading the book. So kind of good for me. We'll see. Anyway, here is Worrying Worm. Let's pick a card. Going for this one. And it is, what is your oldest unread book? I don't know. My oldest unread book. Probably got loads. I'm gonna go have a little shufty and see what I get. Now I know I have lots of old unread books, but this one springs to mind just because I can vividly remember the first month I started buying books. The books that I earned in that month were Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. What was the other one? One was very pretty. What was the pretty one? So the Assassin's Apprentice was the one I was excited about. Then there was another which was like a beautiful book. Oh, I think it was one of my Pratchett's. I think it was Weird Sisters. It was Weird Sisters by Terry Pratchett, because I was trying to collect the Pratchett books in the beautiful covers. So yes, it was Weird Sisters. And then the final one, which was a book where I wanted to expand my horizons, was a mental health book, which is Let's Call It a Doomsday by Katie Henry. I've mentioned this book a lot because I think it sounds great and I want to read it, but I never do. So this is perfect. Come on. October, November, I can read this book. Surely I can. Right, now let's see the chaos I've created by looking at this book stack, shall we? Here is the precarious pile of books. So this is my possible TBR for October and November to help me with what should I read. So I have Thunderhead by Neil Schusterman, which was a series spin. I have This is a Placeholder for a Tangle of Magic by Michelle Harrison, another series spin. We have a genre card, which was middle grade contemporary, and I went for the tenuous The Haunting of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks, I believe. Yes, Hicks. And then again, tenuous, possibly epic, with One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. And that I failed, so I had to do another 30-second prompt, and this time I got a book over 500 pages, and that is A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabah Tahir. I then rolled another green, so I had to do a TBR fail tin, and I got the March pick, which was Elle McNichol's A Kind of Spark. I then got a lucky ladder, which was most anticipated, and that is Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho. Another lucky ladder recently acquired, and that is Fable House by E.L. Norrie. And then finally, a worrying worm was oldest book, and that is Let's Call It a Doomsday by Katie Henry. So a nice mixture of books in there. Oh my goodness, it's so heavy. But I'm now going to talk about Gothtober, because I didn't finish it off in my readathons. So for Gothtober, as well as reading a book with a global majority author, of which I already have Zencho counting, but I could also have E.L. Norrie. I have other books that I want to read for BLACKOWEENATHON, of which those would all count as well. They also have a book with disability representation, so I have got a kind of spark, which would work perfectly for that. And any of the other ones? No, I don't think so. Let's call it a Doomsday. Has mental health, there's anxiety in there. The Secret of Haven Point could also kind of work for that one. And then we have a book with an LGBTQ plus character. Zen Cho's Blackwater Sister also has that. Do any of the others? None sticking out at me. In the other piles, I don't think so. A lot of these are middle grade. And usually in middle grade books, unless it's about the LGBTQ plus community, you don't really know. But nothing generally. So just Zen Cho for that one. What else? That was it. So that's the first three. Then the other ones I have is Sentient House, because I chose the Dracula Castle for my monster lair. I don't have anything for Sentient House, but recently Olivia spoke about some books, and one of the Sentient House ones she said is in the Sorcery of Thorns, like a 1.5 of that, and I can't remember what it's called, but possibly that, unless I need to read Sorcery of Thorns first. So I might not be able to manage the Sentient House, even though I like a Sentient House. I don't know if Fable House is. I'm keen to see. That could work. Water theme or cover, Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho. Whoop! Feed scroll. Blackwater Sister, because of something with water theme on the cover, was that I chose the creature from the Black Lagoon with the webby handies. Feed scroll is because I chose a tentacle for one of the arms. And for that, I have, working perfectly, I came across, I've written it down. I can't find where I've written it down. Oh yes. So from the channel Reading Off My Shelf, a very beautiful thumbnail. It is her picks for VICTOBER. We have a lovely kind of arrangement of pumpkins and autumn leaves, and on that book was the tenant of what. On that thumbnail was the book The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte, and it just so happens to be the book that I'm reading for VICTOBER, and I'm doing a buddy read of this with the lovely Emily from Novel Novels, so that works perfectly. Urban Legend, because I chose a hook hand. I don't really know. I looked up to kind of clarify Urban Legend a bit more, and the notes I have are that it is folklore, and it claims to be like a true tale. There's like horrifying or humorous elements in it. There's some sort of mysterious peril, a troubled event, supernatural, paranormal, and it's usually like a cautionary tale or has shock value. Now, the suggestions for the Urban Legend, not really any book that I would be wanting to read. So again, my tenuous link is going to be, let me dig it out. Here it is. My tenuous link is going to be Coraline, just because it feels like it could be like a cautionary tale, and it's definitely got paranormally kind of feel to it, going into a completely different world where people have buttons for eyes, and it's supposed to be a bit dark and a bit freaky, so that's what I'm going to go for as my pick for that. It's also going to fit some prompts in HALLOWTWEEN as well, so that is cool. And then I got a snake leg, so I got an unreliable narrator. And again, oh no, I found one. Okay, so I was looking at unreliable narrators because I think it's a really hard thing to work out unless you're literally having someone go, that's got an unreliable narrator in it. You're like, marvellous, thank you very much. So I looked at a list, and one of the books on that list was We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. And that is the FOMO Book Club's pick for November, December, I think. I will check that. So that kind of works because it's like I'm kind of going into November. So, and it was one of the ones on the FOMO Book Club that I'm like, I could quite be interested in that one. So provided it's in my library, I'm going to try and give that one a whirl as well. Then I have Forest Creature because I chose the Twiggy headdress thing. I don't know. I don't know if any of these books have got forest creatures in them. Yeah, I'm looking around. So again, hold on. So another book that I am keen to read is Root Magic by Eden Royce. This would have been my anticipated read after Zen Show because I'm really, really excited about this middle grade. It's just been looking at me and I just feel now is the right time to read it. This is another book that I'm using for BLACKOWEENATHON as well. For the Ruby's Crew prompt about a secret. Because they have secret ancestry magic powers in this. And there's woods on the front cover. So there could be woodsy creatures involved in this story. But I don't know. I don't know about that. One Dark Window again. It's set in woods. There could be a woodsy creature in there. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I will see. Fairy tale retelling. I'm drawing a blank at this one. There's a couple of books under my bed that I could get out. But I've got so many other books that I want to read like right now. Possibly One Dark Window has that kind of mythical feel to it. Also, Belladonna kind of has that mythical feel to it, and I do want to reread Belladonna. So maybe one of those. And that's it. That's what I could or could not be reading for Gothtober. So let me just do a little pile to show you. Okay, so this is possibly my Gothtober pile of books that may or may work tenuously for this. So Blackwater Sister, Kind of Spark, Fable House, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, Coraline, Root Magic, One Dark Window, and We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Are there any other buddy ready books coming up? No, I think I've already spoken about my 2 buddy reads. Yeah, so that's it. If you're interested in what I'm going to be reading for HALLOWTWEENATHON and also for BLACKOWEENATHON, I've already linked the video so you can see that because I do go into that in more details. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the books. What are you planning on reading? What books are you taking readathons are you taking part in? What books are you excited about reading? I hope you have a lovely autumn, fall, spooky season, and happy reading, everyone.